choose this life, I think it chose me. Now I'm pulling up, I'm going rosy. Remember I was sitting in the nosebleed. Now I'm pushing courtside and the billionaires my OGs. And it's a good feeling when the city knows your name. Yeah, and it's a good feeling knowing just how far we came. Dream chaser.
What's good, y'all? And welcome to Legacy on the Yard, where HBCU football meets real life. And on today's episode, we have someone who embodies what it means to be an HBCU player. During his college career, he racked up over 140 plus tackles, 40 PBUs, and 10 interceptions, earning him a second-team All-Conference in 2023, followed by a first-team All-Conference in 2024, as well as a Defensive Player of the Week and All-American honor. This guy had no help over the top. Please give it up for Dahlil Wilkins.
What's going on, bro?
What's good, buddy? For the people that don't know, if you didn't know, it is a lot of misconceptions as to where you're from. Let's talk about, tell the people where you from, where you grew up.
For the people that don't know, I'm born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On all the websites, it said Bamberg, some said Hutchinson, but I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised. I got some parts in South Carolina where I went to school at, in Calhoun County, and then Bamberg, but originally I'm born and raised in Philadelphia.
Let's talk about your early football, how you started playing football, where you started at.
I started in Philly. My first memory, like I tell everybody, is watching my big bro run up and down the sideline. That was what made me want to get into the game. Like, that was my first memory of being a human for real, like watching you go up and down the sideline. So that's what made me get into it. And my first time playing is when I was playing for the Sharks, New Sigma Sharks.
Okay. And let's talk about your experience playing Little League. How was that?
Little League in Philly, man. It was fun playing in Pop Warner. And most people eyes Pop Warner is like the highest level for Little League. So playing at Pop Warner, we was every game. It was low key like playing SEC for Little League. Like we was always playing good kids across the city. Playing for the Sharks is what gave me my grit. Like I learned how to tackle playing for the Sharks. I learned how to do everything playing for the Sharks. So that's where my beginning learning to football started at.
Okay, talk about your transition from inner city football to down south football. Was it a big difference?
I wouldn't say it was a different, because it was still Little League. In the South, it wasn't as many good kids like on all the teams. When the team I came to, the Little Saints, it wasn't really that many good dudes out there for real, if I'm being honest. When I came out there, I told them I was running back. They had me try a quarterback, running back, defense. I ended up playing quarterback, but like it wasn't really that much talent. Like I would say it was a couple dudes that I ended up playing high school ball with for a little bit that was good in Little League. But like as far as every Little League team, like how in Philly was, it was little dudes on every squad that was like that. But in the South, it wasn't really like that. Every squad had a little dude in their team. It wasn't like that.
Okay, let's talk about your middle school and high school football experience.
Middle school wasn't really like, because the middle school I went to, the one that's right across the street from Calhoun County, K-8. It was always a up and down on if they had a team or not. And I played 1 year in middle school, and I was solid. Like that's when I started getting a little chubby and stuff. But I was still solid at running back. But it wasn't really too much going on in middle school. My first year of high school at CC is when I had gotten to a misunderstanding that took the start of my high school career off. It took it for a turn, basically.
What happened?
Well, when during the summer leading into the first week of school, my 9th grade year, we always had them summer workouts and stuff like that. And you know, when you the first beginning of school, your mom gets you them pair of shoes. It's like, don't get your school shoes dirty. Them your school shoes for the rest of the year, stuff like that. So we had a weight room session. I think it was like right after school, and I had my new shoes on. So you know, for the people out there that play high school football, y'all know how the locker room, weight room is, how it just be shoes laying across the floor and stuff like that. So I just got a regular pair of shoes, went to go work out in. I was I didn't talk. I talked to this particular coach or whatever, and it was that. I went back to the locker room to change back into my regular clothes, and as I'm changing into my regular clothes, this one coach, he see me taking these shoes out the bag, and he like, "Is them my son's shoes?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. Like, I just worked out on them. I just like that." And he seen me taking them out the bag or whatever. So he like, "Oh, you stealing my son's shoes?" And I'm like, "No, like I just was working out." And they just took it to a whole extreme. They called the police. The police put me in handcuffs, and my brother, he was at practice, and they was just trying to figure out what was going on. And they like, oh, he was stealing. Everybody out there, all the players on the team, they were just like, come on, bro, like y'all know he was just a busted up pair of shoes that was sitting across the
Yeah.
locker room. Ain't no need to make this an extreme and stuff like that. My mom, my grandma ended up coming up there, and it was just a big deal. And after everything got sorted out, the coach basically told me like, "Oh, like you can practice, but you can't play for your whole freshman year in high school."
Yeah, I remember that. That was stupid.
Yeah, like
Cause that was supposed to be my first time playing with you and all that.
yeah, that was gonna be our first time ever playing on the same team. And to this day, I felt like if I would have played on that team, my brother senior year team would have went to the state championship. That's another story for
Yeah,
another
we
day.
probably would have got that
Yeah,
really
it's another
quick.
story for another day.
Well, talk about after that situation happened, you end up going to Bamberg. Tell us about your transition going into Bamberg and how different it was for you.
Well, going to Bamberg was a culture shock football wise, because coming from CC where dudes like if you needed a ride home, dudes would be like, "Oh, I ain't going that way," or it just wasn't like a tight knit community football wise in Count County like it was in Bamberg. And my first day going to Bamberg on a visit, basically, me and my mom, we went up to the school, and the first person they said they asked us, the principal asked me like, "Are you gonna play? Are you a football player?" And I was like, "Yeah." He like, "Well, we're gonna take you to meet Coach Crosby." And from that point on, I knew it was gonna be different, because the first part he ain't say, "Let's go take you to the teachers you're gonna have to be dealing
We
with."
ain't meeting the principal.
Yeah, you ain't meeting nobody crazy. You going straight to the football coach. So when he said that, I knew off rip it was about to be something different. And then when I met Coach Crosby, just off look, he looked like one of them high school coaches. Like he just ain't taking no for an answer. Like you got to run through a brick wall for him. And after dealing with him and learning how he coached his players, I definitely would say I definitely would have ran through a wall for Coach Crosby. He told me straight up like all our players run track, and I knew I would like, cause I hate running. Anybody who know me know I hate running track. Met Coach Crosby, Coach Trapp, and everybody. I just knew off of meeting them from the first time that it was gonna be different. They told me that I could either choose to lift weights early in the morning before school or after school, and I told him I wasn't gonna be able to have no ride. And from that point, he said we're gonna put you with somebody and they're gonna come get you. And they came and got me every day. So I knew it was gonna be good for me football wise.
That's good to hear. Talk about your state championship run.
Well, my junior year, my first year actually with Bamberg, that was outside of watching your senior year team. That was probably one of the best teams I was a part of, because we were solid and sound on both sides. Like even though most of us played both sides of the ball, we were sound. We had nice quarterback, nice running back core with me and Keyshawn. Our defense was stacked up. We had Nick at linebacker, Savion on the D line, Cease on the D line. We had Will at corner, Gerald at corner. Our secondary, my secondary in high school, that year we probably had at least 40 picks combined. Gerald had 20 by himself, at least. So that was probably one of the best teams. And going to state, just building that bond with those. Like I'm still cool with most of them dudes to this day. So building that bond with them and that run to that point, I had never been in no championship or nothing like that for football. So going to the championship was major for me. Like I just was like, I gotta do everything I can to try to get this ring. We end up falling short, but it was still a good experience for me.
Fast forward to your senior year. Let's talk about your recruiting. How was the recruiting for you? Because seeing how you played in high school, if people know, they know you was like that. So you would think that you would have some crazy offers coming out of high school. How was that?
The recruiting for me wasn't really a thing, if I'm being honest. I had a couple little visits or whatnot, but like I like to tell people, it was really on some they want my high school teammate type of thing. And if my high school teammate wanted to go there, they would consider me. That's really the sum up my high school recruiting. I would just be in the gym, schools would come try to find my teammates Keyshawn and AJ, and if they didn't get there fast enough or whatever, coaches are just like I'm sitting there, they ain't had no choice but to be like, oh, this our starting running back, starting safety or whatnot, and then the coaches they'll come and talk to me or whatever. And I remember the day Limestone came in there, they came looking for Keyshawn. And at that point, Keyshawn probably had about 10, 11 offers from some college schools. So, he would give Limestone the runaround. So it took Keyshawn about 30, 40 minutes to get to the gym. So in that time, they had a DB coach come down there to recruit Keyshawn. So he started talking to me, and it was just a coach that just took a liking to me. He gave me his recruiting and personal cell number, and from that point on, we just were locked in, and we was talking, and that turned into me going up to Limestone, probably about 4 or 5 weekends, not straight, but I was up there a lot. I was up there so much, I got tired. I was telling her, like, man, I ain't coming up there again, man. Like, y'all gotta give me an offer or something.
Them trips are crazy.
Like, we was going to their games. I didn't took my pictures, the pictures with my uniform on and all that, and so I told him, like, man, I ain't trying to come up there again. But then, like, the next 2-3 days, I'm in class. They called me, they FaceTimed me, and they offered me right there while I was in class. That was a good moment for me because that was probably around my senior year, coming towards the end, and I ain't had no offer. So to get that offer, I was definitely happy and appreciative for that. And but yeah, that was really how my recruitment went.
As we see, you didn't end up going to Limestone. Where did you end up starting your college career?
Well, after I got the offer from Limestone or whatever, because I ain't go to no real other schools with real interest, I was trying to commit on the spots. Right at probably that same night after I got out of school, after I went to practice, I had texted the coach and was like, shoot, I'm trying to commit. He like, oh, you gotta call at the time, I forget the coach name, but he was like, you gotta call the head coach. So I'm like, all right. So I called the head coach. I'm like, listen, coach, I'm trying to commit. And he told me to call the DB coach, the coach that I just got off the phone with. So I'm like, what? So I'm now I'm getting annoyed because it was like I was low key putting all my eggs on that, like all right, bet this where I'm gonna go at. That I was telling my mom that, my brother, I was like, this where I'm gonna go at. So when I called him back and told him that the coach told me to call him, he just broke it down like, oh man, our money tied up and we could still basically long story short, saying they could get me a preferred walk on. So I was just like, dang. But after that, I was just like, I guess I ain't going there. And as time went on, my teammates, Sean and AJ, was committed to Middle Tennessee at the time. Middle Tennessee was flying down here often, like every other game or every other practice on watch them play. And we had a game against my old school count. And the coaches came, before the game, they weren't really paying me no attention. They was just talking to AJ and Keyshawn. But that game, that first half, I went crazy. I had like a pick, probably like 2 touchdowns. So halftime, they talking to me now. They just asking me my name and all that. And after the game, I probably finished the game with probably another touchdown. They like, listen, man, we got 2 dudes committed from your high school already. So we're going to refer you to a JUCO. And knowing what I know now, I really feel like if I would have stuck to the plan and stayed patient, that they would have really did that. But they said, we're going to refer you to a JUCO. You do what you got to do. We're going to come back and get you. So I'm like, all right, bet. And within the next couple of days, Hutchinson came down to the high school, got my measurements, sold me on all of Alvin Kamara and Cordell Patterson stuff, and how I can play there 1 or 2 years and go big. So that's really what I was thinking. So that's where I went.
Shit, they sold me. They wasn't even coming for me. They
You feel
sold
me? So that's right. They was like, you ain't got no offer, but we gonna have you set up, and it's gonna feel like you got an offer. And I was bet like that sound good to me, and that so no questions. We went right to Kansas.
Talk about your time in Kansas, because for me, if don't nobody know, I went with them. I thoroughly loved it. I was equipment manager, all that.
Almighty, but Kansas, even with everything that went on, that was probably one of the best experiences I went through as a football player. Because going out there, I really learned myself for real. Because when I went out there, I thought I was that dude, and going through the freshman mini camp was an eye opener. Because I don't know, for you people that don't know, in Kansas they had a rule where JUCOs can only have a certain amount of out of state recruits. But the year I graduated, 2019, they lifted that rule, and you can have however many out-of-state players you want. So when I went out there, they had just that. It was a bunch of dudes, and they said, like, you got to make it out freshman mini camp, and within the first, second, or maybe the third group. And I wasn't in the group to start freshman mini camp, but the end freshman mini camp, I finished in the second group. So me being naive to college football at the time, I'm like, all right, bet I made the second group. I'm gonna be able to, I'm gonna be able to make something shake. When we got back with the full team, I wouldn't necessarily dudes was just like that much better than me, but I would say, looking back at it, the only thing that they had over me was just the fact that they was there. I feel like if I came in with all of them and had the same amount of time, I would have been probably better. So that was just an eye opener. And once we got with the full team, and I wasn't getting no reps, I was just going D stretch, and I was just on the sideline most of the time. It just was just discouraging me and making me like feel bad about the decision I made. So before I can make any decisions out of emotion, I called my high school coaches and see what they would say, and they told me, they gave me what I felt like was some good advice at the time. They was like, just talk to your position coach and see what he got to say about it. And my position coach, he was a dog. Like to this day, like I use the techniques he taught me. But I called him and I just tell him like, listen, coach, man, I'm far away from home. I ain't getting no reps. I know I ain't gonna be able to play, but I just want to show what I could do in practice. And first words he said, he was like, you acting like a bitch. He was like, you acting like a bitch. And then he was like, you don't know yourself. And part of that was true. I ain't know myself, but a young kid just coming far out of high school, far down here, I don't think that was something you should have said to a player. Like, he was right, but maybe if he would have worded it better, I would have still been there.
How you think he could have said it any better that you would have really got it?
I just think he should have just said, like, listen, you don't know yourself right now. Like, you ain't even felt uncomfortable yet. Just ain't getting the reps right now. Like, you ain't even touched the surface yet. Like, if you would have just said something different like that, I felt like I would have looked at it and took it different. Like, you understand, inner city kid, I take everything personal. I look at everything different. So when he said that, I'm like, damn, you trying to come at me? Like, that's how I took it. But that wasn't even a deciding factor on why we left there.
Right. Me and another coach have end up getting into it. Not to go into too much detail, but that was sort of kind of my deciding factor to go. So what do you got to say for people who going to see this and going to say, well, you let your brother situation help you take the easy way out to run away from work, basically?
And the people who say that, I'm gonna totally agree. We talk about this all the time. I always tell you, like, I felt like I ran away from competition, like how I said at the beginning of the topic, like, oh, if I was there at the same time as them, I would have been better. I feel like if I'd have went in there with the mentality that I went into Allen or Clark, it would have been a different story. And because looking back, all right, yeah, think about all the situations we done had with coaches compared to what you had with the coach at Hut. Minor. So looking back at it, that was really something small that we could have avoided and just been like, yo, like that was just some like a vent session, like how we do. Go to the room, that's what it is, and just left it at that.
Right.
But at the time, we both learning ourselves. It just went.
So you leave Hutch, we home for 3 months or so. You see Juan, your former teammate Juan C. We see him just randomly at the gas station. He's at Allen. He tell you still playing, you want to play. He gonna send your information to a coach, which was Coach Brown at the time, who already knew you. Talk about that.
Well, Coach Brown, like you said, he already knew me from high school. Coach Brown coached at OW, and when I was transitioning from Count County to Bamberg, before I went to Bamberg, Coach Brown had wanted me. He wanted me to come to OW so bad, but at the time, OW had a bad name to it, and I was just like, I ain't trying to go to OW. So, and I had seen Coach Brown at the Touchdown Club a couple times. I made it, and we always chop it up or whatever. So when Coach Brown seen that it was me, he instantly like, yo, we gotta get them down there. So when I went to Allen first day, Coach seen my film. We talked to Coach Keaton. That was the first time we met Coach Keaton, and everything at that moment just was perfect match. It was a startup program. They probably been going on for probably 2 years at that time. Yeah, like 2 years at that time. and me feeling how I felt about the Hut situation and needing another opportunity, it was just like that. Like you always say, treat this like my D1 or my NFL. So that was the mindset I was going into Allen once I got that opportunity again.
Do you feel like you made a hasty decision in committing to Allen right away when he first offered us? Like, you don't think you could have waited just a little longer and try to maybe even go to Benedict or State or anywhere else?
That's a good question because when a lot of people don't know this, but when we first left Hutch, we was after it was probably like a month, and while we was at Hutch, our coaches was telling us stories about how dudes left, but hit them up, and they just was like, coach, like I made a bad decision and I wanted to come back, and they let them come back or whatever. So after a month being from Hutch, and I ain't getting no contact from nobody, and at the time the transfer portal wasn't even a thing for real.
Right.
So from not getting no contact with no coaches or nothing like that, not even knowing no coaches to hit up, I'm like, I might just hit these coaches up. So I text my defensive back coach from Hutch, and I'm like, listen, coach, I think I made a bad decision
The
out of
same coach
emotion.
that called you the bitch, right?
Yeah, the same coach that called me the bitch. I hit him up on Twitter. I'm like, listen, coach, I feel like I made a bad decision. I don't want to be looked at like I ran away or like I just gave him the whole spiel and just basically like not begging. Like I don't want y'all to look at this and be like, oh, he was trying to beg. Like because it was a genuine. I felt like I made a bad decision. So I hit him up and he was. I didn't even think he was gonna respond back. He responded back and he was like, listen, like you basically made me look bad. Like I put my name on you and you made me look bad. I don't know if you'll ever be able to get another chance at any other place else because this is how people gonna look at you. So when he said that, I felt like that's really how other coaches was gonna look at me because I know at that point I ain't know too much, but I knew like other schools was gonna contact your private school about you. I knew that, so I didn't want another school to hit them up and they be like basically put in a bad word for me. It wouldn't be nothing that I could feel bad about because I earned that basically. So after that, when after being out 3 months and them still wanting to take a chance on me, I was just like, I'm gonna take it.
So Allen was just basically a no-brainer.
A no brainer because him saying that made me. I truly felt like ain't no other school was gonna try to take a chance on me, bro. So Allen was definitely a no brainer. Like I don't think I would have sat there and tried to treat it like, oh, this just is an option right now. That was once I got that opportunity, I was just like, this it right here.
So talk about your first summer and season at Allen. How was that for you? And the speed and the difference from high school to Hutch to Allen of the game it was for you.
That first like I think spring camp going into fall camp, I was just looking at everybody as food because, like I said, I felt like I shied away from competition being at Hutch, and I knew that wasn't who I am. I knew that wasn't the player I was. Going into Allen, I was just like, it don't matter who in front of me, like I'm killing them, like, they food.
Talking to the mic.
I was killing them. They food. That's what happened. I went in there. I made a lot of plays. There was a lot of older dudes there too, front me. But every time I went out there and got an opportunity, I capitalized off of it. That first fall camp, spring camp, kind of didn't even prepare me for that first season that I was gonna have. I just thought it was like high school, but dudes was stronger, dudes was faster, and I learned that at Hut. But being in real game action for the first time, I definitely felt it.
So you underestimated the game a little bit going into college.
For sure, I definitely did.
You thought you were just gonna go in there off the street,
Yeah,
athlete power that you had in high school.
yeah, and at the time, I didn't really have a work ethic at that time. Like, it was just like, all right, we got team workout, we got team running and all that. And after team running and team workout, like, any off time, it's just that. That's my off time. At that time, I wasn't really taking my off time to get better.
Okay, so going into your first season, you end up not even playing because COVID came.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that. Talk about the COVID time for you.
COVID time, like we always say, COVID time was the best time for me. Like COVID is when once we found out that we wasn't going to be able to have a spring season like some teams did. We said we vowed to each other like we about to lock in, go in the lab, like we gonna come out and be better and get all the accolades and the respect that we basically been asking for, and that's what we did, man. That whole COVID, the as long as we didn't have a season, we was at the field,
Yep.
day in, day out. And if it was a day we missed, we got a double on the next day. And I came out of that like how some like to say, like I came out of that. After that COVID stretch, that first season, I just felt like I couldn't be touched for real.
Yeah, I feel that. And I told you to going into that season, it was different.
Yeah, for sure.
We trained endless, like you said, night in, night out, meaning cold, stupid cold, early morning.
My teammate that he ended up going to Wake Forest, he had got this workout bag. It had hurdles, it had the ladder, it had parachute, it had resistance bands, it had all that, and he gave it to me. When he gave me that, he was like, "Bro, you gotta use this. You gotta get better with this." And we started using it so much, we started breaking everything. I was hitting him up every other day, like, "Dang, bro, I broke one of your hurdles." And after about the third one, he was
the
like,
whole bag.
"Yeah." After the third one, he was like, "Bro, you could just have."
Do you feel like you was ignored by the media or by scouts? Like you ain't get the attention you deserve?
You talking about like in high school,
college?
In high school, I feel like a part of it is on me. Cause like they always say, you have a bad year in high school, it'll definitely affect you. And I definitely did have a bad year. So in high school, I wouldn't necessarily say they looked over me, but in college they definitely did. Cause I was putting it out there, and they was still like, it was this dude that was always on the team, always a part of the team, Mike Hayes. It was like as a whole, our DB groups might have not have been the best, but individually, dude used to always talk crazy about me on Twitter. And it's like, bro, you don't see what I'm putting out here on tape, bro. Like, I might not have like that first year out of COVID, they wasn't even playing me. So it was like when I got in, I was making every time I got in, I was making a play. He was still talking crazy. So it was like I felt like they was overlooking me every year when I was in college.
Yeah, because we know you to be this 3-3 right here, but a lot of people really don't know during that 2022 season,
Mhm.
you didn't really, what you played, 3-4 games?
That year, I think I played like 3-4 games, and
it was due to not to nothing that she was doing, but they just felt like these freshmen that they was recruiting coming in was better than you. Talk about that whole season. And
yeah, that 2022 season was a crazy one, because I think that was the first year Coach Cole came. And for y'all that don't know, our defensive coordinator was Coach Brown. And you know, Coach Cole come in, he a legendary Hall of Famer defensive coordinator. It was heads being bumped. And my D coordinator at the time was Coach Brown. And at the time they wanted to push Coach Brown out. So it was Coach Cole. And Coach Cole at the time didn't feel like I was the corner for his defense, basically. So after that spring, they went and got all these young dudes, and we basically like, I'm gonna say they was trying to push me out. So they brought in all these dudes, and throughout the whole fall camp, for the ones that know me, they know I'm going out there first. They call ones, I'm going out there. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care who out there. I'm going out there when they call ones. So I would be going out there when they call ones, like when we go D-Indy, but when we go team or 7-on-7, they calling ones. They keep trying to put me out. So I'm furious. I'm like, bro, what's going on? So I ain't think that they was gonna really not play me. So the first games come and we played Newberry, and they didn't play me. They put John Cole out there in
I think it was little RJ.
Yeah, little RJ. And at the time, I ain't want to sound selfish during the moment and all that, but they weren't fucking like, and everybody knew that.
Say that one more time.
They weren't fucking with me, bro. Like, and everybody knew that. And so for them to keep doing that, they did that for the first 4 games of the season. And then when they finally did play me, my first game playing and starting was Tuskegee. That was my first game starting, and I didn't even start at corner. I started at safety. And we end up losing that game, but I showed why I was supposed to be out there, and I wasn't even playing my true position. Yeah, I was a safety in high school, but after that, I had turned myself into a true corner. So I played Tuskegee game, and we lose, but I play solid or whatnot. Then I believe I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but the next game I think I got more playing time in was Fort Valley. They was playing hot potato with the reps. Like they put me in, I'll make a play, they'll take me out. 2-3 plays go by, they put me back in. I almost caught a pick. I really caught it, but they didn't count it. I catch a pick, they take me right out after that. So I'm like, bro, like what's going on, bro? So it was all, and then it was always talks. You know how, for y'all that went to HBCU, y'all know how coach talk get around camp, and it was always this thing going around like Coach Keaton trying to get rid of me. So it's like that all was going on that whole year, and it was just like, bro, like I don't know what else I got to prove to this dude that I'm him. Like, so after that year, and we end up having a down year that year. Our quarterback tore his ACL that year. We went like 2-8. I ain't really play. I still end up getting like 3 picks that year or two, one of the two. But that's how that season went. So that next year I came in, I'm like, bro, I don't care who here. I'm letting it be known from fall camp that it ain't no need to put nobody else in front of me.
Let's talk about your development and your daily routine going into that year.
Well, the year after that, like I said, I wanted to make it be a known thing that I was the number one corner. So my daily routine around that time, you know what we was doing, whether we was on camp or not on camp, we was waking up 10, 11, going straight to the field. We was going straight to the field. Some days we was going to the weight room and the field, going to Planet Fitness. Like we was doing everything. Like I was watching film from the year prior, not even on teams. Like I was watching myself, just like, all right, what I was doing wrong. Like we big on that. We record ourselves working out and then watch ourselves just to see what's wrong. And I was just fine tuning all my mechanics just so I could be ready. And to start when I came in for fall camp, I guess Coach Cole after that year, they fired Coach Brown. Coach Cole was full DC. And after him seeing me play at safety, he like, yeah, this the one. So he straight told me, I remember my first time seeing him before fall camp started, he was like, you know you're gonna play corner, right? I'm like, bet. My whole summer was safety stuff. Like my whole summer was safety stuff. So right from that time on, right after we walked out that coach office, I'm like, all right, bet we gotta go back to the field right now. So from that point on, we start working on corner stuff.
How did you feel like you built your mental toughness and stay locked in during the time when you felt you wasn't as good as you should be and when you wasn't getting the playing time and your confidence wasn't there? How you build your mental toughness?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I did it myself. Because through all them times, if it wasn't for like talking to you and you giving me the confidence to, or not even the confidence, just making me remember like, yo, you that bull, like you telling me like, yo, you ain't get here this far for nothing, or just giving me encouraging words, and then just the stuff that I would go through in life, man. Like not only that year was it up and down because them not playing me, it would be times like dudes gotta go to the blood bank. We was going to the blood bank on certain days we had games, or having to move because we didn't got evicted, and it ain't nothing that we ain't never cried over that. We just next play, we next play with it. So it was like certain games we didn't have a game in Memphis. We ain't get back till about 2 o'clock in the morning. As soon as we get back to campus, we driving back to home wherever it's at. And we handling business. So it was just stuff like that I was going through that was just like, all right, I gotta keep going, because if I don't, all this will be for nothing. So it'll just be stuff like that.
Would you say that was one of the lowest or hardest parts of your college career?
Yeah, because football was iffy and life stuff was happening. So it was definitely a hard time. But days going to practice and I'm balling out, or the times that I did get in the game and go crazy, stuff like that, it just like set me back, like make me back happy.
Now we know they had an impact on you. I just want you to really get into detail and tell the difference of the impact. What was the impact that your coaches had on you from high school through college?
Well, they had good impacts on me, but I feel a way about how coaches treated me throughout my years, like from high school through college. Like I just felt like they always overlooked me, and and this might sound bad, but in my opinion, as a coach, your special guys, like your guys that I feel like you should just take heed to them and make sure they at least got a fair shake and stuff. Like whether it's getting to college or your college coach getting you to the next level. Like my coaches in high school, they showed me love. Like my first year in Bamberg, my coach was taking me to the camps at USC and stuff like that. But when it came to really put me out there to get recruited and how I see them do now, they wasn't doing half as that with me. Like I remember the start of my senior year when my coach was signing me up for bowl games, and he you know when coaches sign you up, they gotta put your stats in there. And he like, what you had 1,000? We just gonna put 1,000. What you had 9 picks? Oh, we just like the only stats that I know off the top of my head is my picks, touchdowns, forced fumbles, stuff like that. But yards or yards per carry, like that was stuff that they wasn't keeping. Like I see my high school now. They posting all these stats from the season, and well, this person ran for this many yards, and I'm like, well, where was my yards and my stats at when I was playing? And dudes to see this and be like, oh, he like flew away, or just I want.
So, do you think it was organized back then, or do you just feel like you just got?
Feel like I just got sick because for y'all that know Bird, y'all know like that basically didn't have all them players come through, and it was never a problem with they stats. And if it was, they wouldn't have went to the schools they went to. If y'all watching this, correct me if I'm wrong though. But when it came to me, like everybody ain't know what my stats was, like, and I just felt like if it was a real thing, if people, because I didn't had games, I got article clips where I didn't had a being 20 off of 4 or 5 carries or something like that.
So that's 100 yards.
Huh?
Just letting the people know that's 100 yards.
But yeah, like I didn't had rushing like 100 rushing yards off of a little bit of carries, and I got the article clips, and they don't nobody ever say nothing about it. So it just be, and then in college, I was clearly the man. It was always my coach, and it motivated me. It was good, but it was just like my coach used to always try and like down me. And I feel like if I wasn't the type person I was, it would have broke me a long time ago.
What you mean he used to try to down you?
We be in front of the team.
Speaking to the mic.
We be in front of the team. He want to keep calling my name, and like I said, it was.
I remember those practices or those films here coming there. Oh, there go 33.
Yeah, and it just was like he used to always try to embarrass me, like, and sometimes and a part of it was a motivating factor for me, but then another part of it I used to look at it like, bro, like you trying to embarrass me or something, like.
You don't think it was one of those he being hard on you because he know you can do more, or you just thought he was just straight picking on you every time he did it?
I feel like it was part of it was he knew I could do better, but once I start showing that better, he still would be doing it. Like I had a 2-pick game, first game of the season. The next week in practice, he trying to make a point. He referencing me, like, what you referencing me for? I just went off. Niggas ain't catching nothing on me.
Right.
What you referencing me for? So I don't want to say he was picking on me, but it'll just be certain stuff I look at sideways, or like the one year where I was every time I made a play, I was doing the crazy drawing like that. And then that one day in practice, he like, 33, I don't want to see you do that no more. You do this. I'm like, come on, cuz. Like, I used to just look at it sideways.
You looked at it sideways. So do you think that maybe what you did in practice, which a lot of times didn't show up in the game, do you think that's the reason why he was hard on you? Because it was a lot of practices. I'm gonna be honest. It was a lot of practices where you go off, you lock everything down, everybody, half the field, whole field, whatever. But then game time comes, that same person ain't even on the field.
No, for sure. It was a lot of times like that where I didn't been going off like in practice for 2-3 weeks straight, and where a big game come, I'm not necessarily giving up stuff, but I'm not making those crazy plays like I was in practice. And like I said, part of it was a motivating drawing for me, and it was a drawing like, all right, I'm trying to get up under him, like pause, light a fire under him. But in another part of it was just like I said, it was just not called for. And if people knew the relationship I had with Coach Keaton, they would understand where I'm coming from, because it was never like I wasn't a player, like I never was a player that go sit up under the coach in his office, talk to him or nothing like that. Like, I never knew where or been to none of my coaches' houses, never. So I never was that type of player. Part of it, I feel like that though. Like that's just my opinion on how I feel like it, and it was based off of the relationship we had.
So overall, would you say it's like a love hate relationship with sort of kind of all your coaches? Like, is it like any coach like that you just like, no, that's he was a real one to me since I met him?
No, for sure. It's only two coaches that I just don't like. Coach Kimry and Coach Tank. Them the only two coaches that I just don't got a liking for. And like they say, you couldn't get a guard from the stove from me. Like you couldn't get nothing from me, I swear. But the rest of my coaches, it's just a love-hate relationship. Because it's just like I felt like they could do more in certain areas. But I know certain people gonna look at this and might be like, oh, I did this or I did that. But I can honestly say you probably did that players before. You ain't do that for me though. And I don't want to sound like I want anything handed to me because I recently talked to a coach and he said it sounded like I wanted stuff handed to me. And I don't want nobody to think that because anybody who know me know I put in the work when it comes to football, anything for real. But when it comes to football, I'll put the work in. It don't matter. Like right now, they call me for an opportunity. I'm ready right now. So it ain't nothing like that. I just feel like as a coach, you should take heed to your guys that's special, and make sure they got a certain opportunity or a certain chance to at least go to the next level.
Now, let's talk about your. I don't want to say viral, but let's talk about just one of your clips that got posted. You recently said you feel like coaching is a 6-month subscription.
Yeah, I do. I feel like coaching is
And my fault to cut you off, but my question to you is, what do you want a coach to do? Like, let's dive into it. Like, when you say it's a 6-month subscription and they get what they want out of you or whatever, what do you want a coach to do once you're done playing for them or once your time with them is over? Like, what is the coach's job?
I just want them to practice what they preach. Any football player, whether you made it to college or not, any football player who played for a coach, at some point that coach was like, "You can stop playing right now. I still love you. You can still call my phone." Is that not true?
That's real.
So it ain't got nothing to do with football. I just want to know, like, you was that guy for 2-3 years straight. At the time, you thought this coach really loved you, like genuinely loved you. After you done playing with him for 4 years, you don't hear from him. Like you don't know, and he don't know that one of y'all could be dead. You feel me? Like, and it's just that the reason why I feel a certain way with my college coaches, to be specific, is because I voiced what I wanted to do. They halfway voiced how they could help me, and it was like once I wasn't around on them, basically none of that was to be what it was said to be.
Do you think they should have gave you more attention than you got?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like out of all my teams, from Allen to Clark, it was a bunch of players that I felt like they should have gave more attention to than they did. And I feel like if they did, we would have had better teams than what we had. Not saying that we wasn't good, but we anybody you talk to from them teams, we became good because of ourselves. Like that's one thing I will say about them. That class, from, even though it wasn't necessarily part of us, but from Richard to the rest of us, that we all formed a brotherhood by ourselves. It was never on like they tried to do team bonding so many times, but everybody ain't show up. Whenever we did something a player held or a player orchestrated, it was everybody.
Right.
So we all got cool on our own. You can ask any of them and they'll say the same thing. So it's a lot of players from that team I felt like they should have paid more attention to, but it was like I said, it was more about them. They more worried about making sure dudes ready to play ball, which ain't nothing wrong. But my thing is, don't be doing all that preaching after this, or you can stop playing football now, or you could get hurt now, and I'll still love you. Like I rather a coach just be real. Like, yo, we, especially with the way the college football is now, like, yo, we need you for this semester. Like, keep it real. Like, yo, we need you to be locked in for this 6 months, and after that, you can do whatever. Like, I feel like and dudes will go into it like not even, like not even thinking nothing crazy about this. I'm trying to make a relationship with my coach. Like,
go ahead, make the move to go ahead and go to Clark.
See, a lot of people don't know that I was initially going to stay at Allen, but the new coach that came in, Cedric Pearl, and his coaching staff, they came in with a different agenda, and it would just felt like from day one, anything Keaton related, they wanted to they either wanted to push until they quit, because that's what a lot of other dudes was doing, but they were just trying to find a way to just kick dudes off, and that's what they did. It was just a regular conversation in our team group chat, and anybody that know, even coaches know, team group chats, that's what it is. And I said a certain word, and we had, for some reason, they had girl managers in the team group chat. Why, I don't know. But she was in there and she made a big thing. And with them, now that I think about it, that was the first time we even had a team group chat and the coaches was in it. So that was odd. So she just made a big deal and the coach seen it. So before the workout the next day,
No, Wasan made a big deal.
oh yeah,
I'm gonna always blame Wasan.
yeah, my boy Wasan made a big deal about it. But that's my boy though. But they called me in the office the next morning, like 5 in the morning before the workout, and he just was like he came off aggressive in the meeting. He just straight like, what's this word about? And I already knew what it was. I was just like, yo, like my fault. Like I ain't mean to hurt nobody's feelings. He just wasn't trying to hear that, and that's why I said like anything Keaton, he wanted to get it out of there. He wasn't trying to hear that, and was just like, listen, man, if you gonna be cursing like that, you gonna have to find somewhere else to play. Like, and I'm like, all right, my fault. And he like, no, like I guess he wanted me to beg him. He like, no, like you done. And I'm like, what? And he like, you done. So I'm like, what? Like I'm just in my head like, what was the whole point of calling me up here? So right after that, I called Coach Keaton, and we had this discussion. And like you said, you gotta go with the devil you know. So I hit Coach Keaton up, and he said he got me.
So talk about your little stint in the portal.
I entered the portal, and my mindset, even though I know I was knowing where I was going, my mindset was the only thing that can derail this plan is if some D1, somebody D1 come or something nice come. And I ain't gonna lie, I got some solid teams, some FCS. I got some FCS teams that hit me up. Instead of looking at my film, they was more so worried about the edits on my film. They like coaches that hit me up like, what's going on, man? We like what we saw, like send your film. And I'll send my film and ain't nobody hit back. After that, they'll read it and they'll just not hit back. And I know my film is nice. Like I know I'm making some plays. So I'm just like, what's wrong? Until this one coach respond back. He just responded back, good luck. And then that threw me off. I was like, I had to respond back like what's wrong with my tape? Like he was just like, you got too much edits on there and stuff like that. So I just like, all right, man, whatever. I tossed it up after that.
So that go back to your point of my point of you being ignored and overlooked.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely overlooked.
Now let's talk about your transition to Clark, because clearly you ain't have no transition. You had 2 picks in the first game.
Yeah.
Made an impact right away.
Yeah.
You went down in Clark history as the first defensive back or whatever to go have an all-conference. Talk about that.
But yeah, once I made a decision, like, all right, bet I'm going to Clark, I was just ready to get over there. Like, I kept seeing videos of my defense coordinator, Coach Cole, cussing the defense out. He like, man, y'all can't play cold-blooded football. And at the time, Coach Deion Sanders had just went to Colorado, and he was saying the thing like, I'm breaking my luggage. So I was like, man, and I just kept telling them like, the luggage is on the way, like it's on the way.
How was your time at Clark? Did you enjoy it? Because you know what they say about Atlanta.
Oh yeah, Clark was definitely fun, man. Like from my first day going there, it wasn't. I wouldn't necessarily say the school opened me with welcome arms, because they was talking crazy to us. But Atlanta, just in general, just opened us with welcome arms. Like half our team from Allen went over there. It was just already like home already, because I already knew most of the team because they was already my teammates. I knew the defensive scheme. I knew what everybody was trying to do. It was just like it was just getting acclimated to the new coaches and new players that was there already.
Did you feel like you belonged at HBCU level, or like the way your play style was that you was meant for a bigger division? Yes.
I honestly think that I could have played Power 5 SEC if I had given the real opportunity. I honestly felt like I could have played up there. But certain stuff, like, because I'm not really a people's person, certain stuff like how Clark was with walking to class, all them people, like certain stuff like that make me think like being at HBCU just right where I was supposed to be at. But playing wise, I knew I could have played at a bigger school or anything like that. Like everybody say, them bigger schools, it ain't no difference in the skill position. It's the trench for real. Like dudes that's like, oh, like, all right, he worth the 5-star. But as far as skill position, everything the same. If I would have had them resources, them weight plans, them meal plans, I'd have been crazy at a Power 5.
In the SEAC, do you feel like you was the best DB throughout all them years?
See, I like to be real. See, people that know us, they know we keep it a bean. So out of all my years, it was only 1 year that I felt like I wasn't the best DB, and I still was the top DB that year, and that was my last year at Clark, because the dude from Miles, he ended the season with like 10, 11, because he caught like two in the championship game, and as a DBs know, like, you get 10+ pick season, that's crazy. So I give it up to him. Like, I don't know bro name, but salute to you, bro. 10+ picks is crazy. I still was first team that year, but I just keep it real. Like,
Is he better than you?
no, he not better than me. But if we want to say like season wise, when it come down to numbers, like, he definitely had a better season. Like, but other than that, all my years, I'm taking me over anybody.
Who your Mount Rushmore receivers you played against?
Team or just played against?
That you played? Are we gonna go with that you played against and that was on your team?
All right.
Who gave you the most work, Paul?
Hey, but on my team, I ain't gonna do no order, but my team is Jamal Jones. Me and him used to had crazy battles in practice. Armand Harris, if you know, you know. He definitely going down as one of the best in HBCU in the CA.
Right now, as we speak.
Yeah, right now as we speak. Shout out to him. He gonna be in the legacy, but shout out to him. But Jamal Jones, Armand Harris, Dayan Horace, that's out of all these that I'm naming, he the one. Like, he the one. He the one.
He made you go in your bag the most.
Yeah, like, he the one. Like, you definitely had to go in your bag to guard him. But Jamal Jones, Armand Harris, Jayan Horace, Andre Ruffin, he was the one who helped me be able to guard the taller receivers, because he was probably one of the biggest receivers we had throughout all my years. And my fifth spot gonna go to Montrell White. That's his name, my boy. But yeah, the receivers I went against, I don't know all these dudes' names. I don't know none of their names actually, but they were solid. Number one from Miles, me and him played each other twice. We had some good matchups. He ain't really score on me. The one target he got on me in the he got 2 targets on me in the championship game. He ain't get no reception. Just had to throw that out there. But we lost, so he got it. But him, number 7 from Fort Valley. Me and him got some work. If y'all know the history between us and Fort Valley, I know how that gets.
Y'all got work for a long time.
Yeah, and then I went against him bowl practice. Number 7 from Fort Valley. Him, Seneca McKee. I know his name. He played at Erskine. That's 3. I think I might just have to leave it at 3. Ain't too many get one up on me. But it was one dude from Benedict. He wasn't like that as a receiver. I just could not get off his block, bro. Like, I could not get off his block, bro. He was tall. He used to get a hold of me, pause, and I just could not get off it.
How you feel about Keaton and Clark parting ways?
But for the ones that know, we seen it coming.
I definitely said he only had 2, maybe 3 at most.
Yeah, we seen it coming. I don't want to get too deep into that, but for the ones that know, that they know where the relationship went sour. They know where it went sour.
When you was going through your hardest time, your most inconfident time, who was there to put that believed in?
You was, bro. Come on, man. Like, in the moment, like, I don't want to shade my mom. Deuce was definitely there for me, but in those moments at school where mom far away, I ain't had too many people but my brother. My brother always used to, like, people, the coaches and people used to think that my brother kept me on track for school, but it wasn't keeping me on track for school. I could do school on my own. It was just keeping me on track in life, but just making sure, like, that's what a big brother do. As a little brother, just listening to your big brother, and it's just like, he ain't gonna ever steer you wrong. Never I get in them unconfident modes or just modes where I don't feel like I'm that no more. My big brother just used to always tell me, like, bro, you that. I don't even know why you doing that.
So how you feel about the current state of college football right now? Like, with players coming to terms with their team, all this crazy NIL money.
I think it's crazy, bro. Like, of course you want the players to get paid, but like, I just seen them post today, bro. They posting pictures with dudes saying, like, he's signing back, staying home, like, as if they NFL players. And it's like, you want them to get paid, like I said, but the way that it's going is just like, players got like too much power. Like, I don't want to say too much power, because you want them to get their bread, because the school's making their bread. You got dudes like TJ Finley, dude that been to like 5-6 schools, got 3 kids. Like, dang, dude, like, come on, bro. And then if it's like that, let that trickle down to the HBCU. Let the HBCUs get some money. Dude, you
Now let us get some money. Let us get them years.
You feel me? Nah, for real. Cause all the eligibility rules only apply to D1. They don't even apply to HBCU.
And D1 is damn near go by like how many seasons you played.
Yeah, they count D's and what.
And D2.
I honestly don't know how it goes
at this point.
At this point, I don't know how it go, bro. I just know the D1 players could play with their years more.
Yeah,
they could play with them years.
HBCU, which you after 10 semesters is a wrap.
You might get lucky doing the grad year.
Maybe. So, do you feel like they need to figure out a way to give and boost some of that NIL to HBCU? How you feel like that can be done?
Knowing what I know now, bro, about just football period, bro, the only way these HBCUs is going to get bread and to be able to get NIL is if these HBCU players start going to the league. Because when you look at Miami's, the Bamas, like the bread ain't coming solely from the dudes that played there, but some of it's coming from there.
Mm-hmm.
So if HBCUs can start getting some dudes that's in the league, or I don't know, building relationships with some $1 million corporations to get some donation, I don't know, bro. Like, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to get HBCU some money.
I just feel like the HBCU booster club and the collective sort of kind of need to get better, because like at Clark, there's so many millionaire people who's a part of the booster club who are alumni of Clark and got crazy businesses. But
I'm gonna just say, I feel like all HBCUs stealing money. Hey, somebody doing it, bro. Like we always used to say, bro. We at Allen, bro. Hey, everybody got Audis, and you mean like somebody, you feel me? Somebody doing something, bro. Like, and we always used to, every time we went to a HBCU on the road, even the FCS ones, Alabama State, they in the middle of the hood. So it's like somebody taking that bread, bro. I don't know who, but somebody taking that.
When somebody go to Allen or Clark and they walk into a football facility and somebody say your name, what you want to be said?
I want them to be like, that's him. Like, he was that boy. Like, not even just on the football field. Like, he came, like, Allen, he came in. Him and his brother, they had their little growing pains, but they stood on business. They got their degree. They got their paperwork. And that Clark, because, you know, I ain't go there with trying to be no studious person. I went there trying to ball.
Right.
So when they think of me like, yo, he came in here, and I know they ain't gonna really give me the respect like I would want, like how I deserve, but I would want them to be on the tip like, yo, he was that. He came in here less than 5 months, came ball. Like, that's what I would want them to say. But
stood on business.
Yeah, I stood on business, but I know for a fact they ain't gonna give me that respect. They ain't never did, and I'm used to it.
They ain't gonna tell you that. They ain't gonna say you was one of the reasons.
No. They ain't gonna even no, bro. You gotta think about it, bro. Not 1 year, especially last 3, where I was like no doubt that dude. I ain't ever get it. I ain't never get that nod. Like the real ones, know, like Armand and Jamal and like all of them. You ask them, they gonna be like, yeah, he was the top dude on defense at corner. Like they gonna say that. But as far as coaches and people that might have watched around, I don't think they gonna say that. I don't think it's me. I don't know if it's me just trying to like dumb my stuff down, but that's just how it was, bro. Like I don't, and then again, I don't know if it's because I just be too humble with it, bro. Like, you know how we is, catch 2 picks, come everybody like, oh, you did good, like, and I just like appreciate it, bro. Like, it is what it is. I don't know if it's because of that or not, but they ain't ever give me that respect.
So you more appreciative of the gratification from your coaches or the players?
The players. Even though...
Because we know for a fact, anybody who played with you, against you, they going to give you your respect, hands down, from Kansas down here.
Yeah. I appreciate the nod from my peers and the people I played with and against more, because coach and like how Mike Hayes used to, like it have been times my boy Armand then help me up, like, cause dude Mike Hayes talking crazy and Armand like, bro, 3-3, you that one, bro. Like, so from my peers and the people I played with and against, I'll take that more than any coach, for real. Cause like I said, ain't no coach at no level really just solely gave me that nod and really just was hands on with me. Pause. Like it was just not. It was never one coach that was just like that.
So now you removed from college ball for about a little over a year. What's next for you? What you got going on?
After I got out and finished my last game and did the championship and all that and the bowl game, I had an opportunity in Kansas again for arena with the Selena Liberty. That just it didn't go like I thought it would. I surprised myself as far as like not ever like I watched arena when I was younger. I know what it is, but I never been in it and had to play that. So me not ever doing that before, going out there locking dudes up, I definitely surprised myself and was like, all right, if I really got a shot at a real major arena league or something like that, I know it'll be all right. Not that that's what I'm aiming for, but if it just came about, I knew I'd be all right. But that opportunity wasn't really that good. My agents lied to me about it. The team lied, and it just was a bunch of miscommunication. So that wasn't even a week opportunity. I was there. I left on a Sunday, got there that Monday, and I was back home by that Thursday or Friday, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't it. And after that, I just was really discouraged, bro. Like I really ain't even want to keep trying to keep going, because it just was like I already know what it is. I'm gonna find an agent. He gonna tell me you can do it a year in the arena and you'll be able to move up. But because of the way when I went to that arena tryout or whatever it was in Kansas, they basically got the mindset of just jumping to arena league to arena league, and it's just like I'm not trying to jump from arena league to arena league to arena league. Like, bro, that ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
So I currently recently just signed with a agent, and they got a deal for me out of the IFL or AF1. I think it's the IFL. I can't remember, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently signed with the Michigan Arsenal and got a report there March 1st or something like that. But the way I'm feeling now and the state of mind I'm in, it's just like I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense right now. And then I just talked to that same coach that recruited me from Limestone, and he just indirectly said like the dudes who make it got money behind them. Like, and that ain't the dumb down nobody else success or somebody else making it, but and when you look at it the way college football is today, that's really what it is. The money is behind these dudes, and you don't really see too many people coming from the SEAC. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to see some dudes, even if it ain't me. I would love to see some dudes start getting drafted from the SEAC, because the SEAC, like, man, bro, the SEAC is a good conference, bro. Like, the battles we had in the SEAC the last 4 or 5 years, bro, was some crazy battles. So, dudes coming out of HBCU, it ain't really heard of. You barely get them from the big D1s. Him saying that just put me in a state of mind, like, maybe I do, maybe my run is up. And if it is with the career I had, I done had better careers than a lot of dudes I know that then went D1. And some people might say it got an asterisk on it because I was HBCU D2, but the real ones know. The real ones know the competition I was playing. It was the competition I was playing. Some of them dudes played D1. Some of them dudes is going to play D1. So that's just the state of mind I'm in right now and the decisions that I'm going to be having to make coming up soon.
Okay, so sound like you kind of leaning toward like you want to hang it up.
Yeah, pretty much, because like you said, I done been out a year and some change, and when I talked to these new agents, that was what they were saying. So now it ain't just he coming from HBCU D2. It's he been out a year. So it's just like I don't know if I want to even keep going against all that. Like the real battles that I wanted to win and prove against people, I did and I won.
Which was
Going to college, making like I remember the one thing we said when we was going to Allen, we were like, "Yo, we gonna come here whether we both play. If it's just me, we gonna get an all conference. We gonna get one." Like that was the goal. Mm-hmm. So getting two would that exceeded my goal. So it was like everything that I really said I wanted to do. Like I did say I wanted to go to the league as a youngin', and sometimes I still be wanting to, but it's just for you young ballers out there that's coming up, you gonna have to really look at it like, and I don't want to shoot nobody bubble down. Like if you ain't got that money behind you, if you ain't marketable, if you ain't at one of these schools it's really a 1%. Like, and I already beat the odds going to college and getting my degree and playing and getting all conference and all that. And you helped me understand. You helped me understand this like the last couple weeks. Like, if it wasn't meant for me to go to the league, then cool. Like I did what I wanted to do for real, and I had fun doing it. So, and I feel like I already then kind of pivoted already. Like I got a good job working. I can do it, get what I want. So it's like some part of me already pivoted, and it's just like I think that just might be what it is.
One thing I do want to go over, and we're gonna kind of backtrack a little bit. Right before you left Allen, you didn't get invited to the Legacy Bowl.
Yeah. I forgot.
You end up not taking it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was one of the biggest mistakes of your career?
It'd be hard for me to answer this, and a lot lately we've been talking about this conversation or this topic, and it's like I can't say it was a mistake because I came back and had a better year. And I remember around that time you kept telling me like, listen, bro, if you take the Legacy Bowl and you end up like how he is now, you gonna always have that thought like, yo, I had one more year that I could go back.
Shit,
So
with the way it's going now, you would have been able to go back.
yeah, and then that's another thing. The rules wasn't what they are now. Like it's like every time I get to a senior, they change a rule.
Like we
too
always
late.
say, what a year make.
Yeah, what a year make. They always change a rule 2 years late. And for y'all that don't know, the rule was after you, because when I was coming out, after you accept the bowl invite or or sign with an agent, you forfeit whatever eligibility you got left. And that was what I was told. And another thing that don't nobody know, I told my coaches, and they basically dumbed it down like, oh, you don't want to go to the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Mind you, the HBCU Legacy Bowl is probably the best accomplishment for an HBCU athlete.
To this point.
So they dumbing it down, talking about you try and get the Reese's Bowl. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, bro, don't know HBCU players go to that, right? Unless they a deep lineman or something.
Them the only ones that went in the last couple
Yeah,
years.
so I'm looking at them. Them saying that ain't what persuaded me to come back, but what made me come back is knowing that I had another year and what I could have did with that year. Because I know I would have did what I end up doing, and that was getting the first team. Because I finished second team the year prior with 20 plus PBUs and 3 interceptions. And when they invited me and I decided to come back, they told me, and I got the messages, you come back, you have half a year that you had, you'll get picked again. So that was the driving factor for me going into Clark.
Right.
Like, oh, I gotta get, or my goal was to get more than 3 picks. And if I didn't get the 20 plus PBUs, as long as I had some and got more than 3 picks, that was my goal. Like, get more than 3 picks and at least get 10 plus PBUs at least. So once I had 2 picks the beginning of the season, I'm like, bet I'm straight trying to go for picks. Like I'm trying to go for picks. I got 2 in the first game. I'm trying to go for picks. PBUs wasn't even my main priority, and I could have had more than 4. But
do you feel like if you would have played in that Legacy Bowl, it would have made a difference in your pro career?
Yeah, for sure. Because I would have went down there and balled out.
Not to cut you off, but in my opinion, some part of me feel like it would have, but the other part of me, as your brother, feel like it wouldn't have, because it's like we seen people that we know, not personally, but we know, go to Legacy Bowl, have a great game. They had great seasons prior to that, and they damn near in the same boat you in now.
I feel like the only difference, and this is truly how I feel. The only difference it would have made, I feel like I would have been able to come across better quality agents, and they wouldn't have been coming to me with arena deals and stuff. It would have been, oh, we got UFL, USFL, something like that. I feel like I would have came across a better group of agents than what I come across now going to the week bowl game I went to.
What would you tell somebody? What would you tell a young player coming out of high school that's considering going to HBCU? Would you tell them that's a good joint to go to? Like, what would you say to him?
Depending on his situation. If he like the dude I just seen who chose the HBCU over Power 5 schools, I tell him he's a dummy. But if you a dude that was like me and the Power 5 schools ain't showing you no love, but the HBCUs is, go to where they showing you love at. Because a situation could go bad no matter where you at, whether it's HBCU or Power 5.
You don't
But
think that's how it went for that dude? That I know I just can't think of his name. You don't think that the Power Fives was showing him love, but the HBCU like they brought him down on a homecoming visit like Dion like this.
that's the only thing that I can see why he changed. Because he went on like a homecoming and he seen, I think he committed to North Carolina A&T. So if he went down there during the homecoming, that could only because you know what we know about D1s. They not about to waste the offer on you. So if they gave him the offer, they had to been showing him some type
For
of
sure.
love. So like I said, the only reason I could think of why he picked a HBCU is they pulled the prime and they invited him down there during the homecoming. Cause for you that know, them HBCU homecomings is crazy.
All right, so for a player like you, he got, let's just say he got a few offers or whatever, but he want to go to a HBCU. His family got HBCU lineage. He got maybe one or two FPF offers or whatever. What would you tell him?
Man, your folks got family lineage, so you better go to where your folks got the pull at. That's what I tell him. You better go where your folks got the pull at, even though.
See what happened at Legend Bay.
Nah, for real, you better go where your family got the pull at, bro. It's all about, like, if you can use that nepotism, bro, you better use it. You better use it, bro.
But all jokes aside, if you knowing everything you know now, would you still take the same route, go HBCU and go with Keaton and go to Allen and everything that happened with your situation?
If, like you saying,
Knowing,
if I could go back,
going on everything you know now, if you could go back and change anything.
knowing what I know now, if I could go back and change anything, I just would have stuck it out more at Hut. Cause like we say, that time it took us not being in school for 3 months or being on the team for 3 months. What we know now about how that season went with Hutch and how they pulled some freshmen in to play that year, I feel like I could have played at some point in that year. And even if I didn't, some point within 2 years of us going there, I would have played at some point. Even though it would have been a long 2 years, but I just feel like, cause like, bro, we stuck it out like that time from our first year going to Allen to the end of COVID. That's damn near about the same time. So if I would have just stuck it out just a little bit more, like even if I didn't play, you would have probably been at a D1 somewhere
Sure.
that next year or something like, and that's another thing outside of running from competition. I just feel like I messed your situation up down there. Being like a lot of people don't know that, but I just feel like I messed your situation up.
Oh, I
So
tell you all the time, you most definitely messed my situation up for sure.
that's the only thing
I
I
was on my
feel,
way to
bro.
Arkansas to be a manager, wash clothes and pack the game gear, and I was gonna get paid
No, for real,
a
man.
week.
I messed my man's situation up, man.
But you know me, I'm loyal to the story. I am my brother's keeper.
For
So
sure.
we gotta do what we gotta do.
But everything happened for a reason, man.
For sure.
And outside of that hypothetical question you just asked me, I do it all over again the same way for real. Like, cause me and my brother, we did it together. Like, just like how we doing this video and this podcast right now, we did all of it together. And for everybody that knows, you know, you don't really see him without me, and you don't see me without him. So
And if you see him and you don't see me, you know I ain't far.
exactly. So
But let me ask you this though, saying all that, do you feel like I hindered your path because I remember you told me the conversation you had with Coach Burnett, and he was saying how he wanted you to come with him, but you was saying, "What about my brother?" And I remember, I do know you said that to a few places where you could have gone. Do you feel like I was a hindrance in that aspect?
I don't feel that way. A lot of people probably look at our situation and probably feel like, oh, well, why they like that? But it's just like how I was brought up. Like, me and my brother wasn't always like how we was now, but it was a point where I forget what happened, but something happened where I didn't listen to my brother. The person told me like, yo, like, you might not have to listen to your mom, you might not have to listen to your grandma, but listen to your big brother. And that always stuck with me. So when it came time to going for school, it was just like how it was with the Griffin twins. If you want me and you like me, like you say, then you want mine. Yeah, my brother. That's how I always looked at it. And Hutch was real, and that's why I wish I wouldn't have messed it up, because when I told them, like, yo, like, what about my brother? It wasn't no question. They straight was like, what position he play? What's his film? Once
That
they
nigga ain't even asked what position. Them niggas just wanted to make sure I wasn't buying nobody liquor. Because I was already 20. I had just turned 21.
Yeah,
And what's crazy is I wasn't even the oldest
they talking about
nigga
you
on
want to
the
be the
team.
oldest person on the team. We get down
Bro,
there, this
he's
nigga
like
25,
30
already.
Bro, what?
Yeah,
I don't need you going to the store buying nobody anything ill, bro.
but no, like people always ask me, and we talk about all the time. They ask me like, if your brother ain't go with you at every stop, like how you think you would have did. I honestly think I would have been the same way, because like I genuinely listen to my older brother and I listen to what he say. So he would have just been molding me from afar for real. And it wouldn't have never, like, I ain't a follower. I don't try to do or fit in the crowd. So it would have been like, that would have been like my best friend, even more than what he is now. So I don't look at it as like you hindered my path or anything like that. I just like it's just a package joint. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, because we equally valuable to whatever we going to do.
Sure.
If and you more valuable than I am. I always tell people, when I'm coming to something, I'm bringing one talent. That's football. That's one talent. That's football. And you count two, I look good. But other than that, you a Swiss Army knife. Everybody, and some people that don't know, like, you a Swiss Army knife. You could do a lot. And that's another thing through hard times that I use to fuel me. Seeing my mom and my big brother like be the way they is with me. They sacrifice anything for me, and seeing that just make me want to go hard.
What does legacy mean to you, and what legacy do you feel, and what legacy do you feel like you have left up to this point?
Legacy to me is, if you left this earth right now, you had something left behind for not even just your kids, but for people to just know who you are. You could go back and look and see that I was first team All American. I mean, first team All Conference, second team All Conference. You could go and see that I led all of football in pass deflection. Like, you could go and look that up. I feel like what I left behind, even though, and a matter of fact, it's not even just all football. Like, if I was to leave, God forbid, knock on wood, but if I was to leave Earth today, I left a lot behind that if I was to have a kid that they could look up to. I got a high school diploma, something that a lot of dudes, black males, don't have. I have a college degree, and I started and didn't finish, but I started the process to get a master's. So at any point, I could always go back and get that. So I got stuff that, especially if I had a son, could use for motivation. Like, my dad did this, or like with your kids, my uncle did this. I could. That's there. They could use that.
Well, this has been nothing short of a great podcast. I appreciate each and every person that tuned in. If you like what you heard, like, comment, and subscribe. If you know somebody still grinding or somebody with a great story, this is the perfect place for them. This is Legacy on the Yard, and I am your host, Thomas Smith.
I ain't choose this life, I think it chose me. I was down so bad and it was lonely. I was. Couldn't even make it to the nosebleeds. Now I'm sitting courtside and everybody knows me. And it's a good feeling when the city knows your name. Oh, it's a good feeling, knowing just how far we came.